Long export times and playback issues inside Premiere Pro can be really frustrating as a video editor. That's why in this video, I'm going to be going over the most common reasons this happens and ways that you can deal with it. Let's dive in.
3, 2, 1.
Here we go!
So I'm going to first start with something I just discovered a few years ago that I don't think is that known inside the video editing community, especially when you're editing inside Premiere Pro and you're exporting out a video and it's taking forever. One of the reasons that this might be happening is because Premiere Pro is trying to size down your logos, photos, or graphic files. If we take a look at my Premiere Pro timeline window, you can see I have this logo pulled in here for one of my clients I'm doing a video for. Now, if we take a look at effects controls, you can see that Premiere Pro is scaling it down to 32. But what you have to realize is every time you scale down a graphic, such as this logo, Premiere Pro has to work twice as hard to render this graphic out because it has to size it down and then display it for each frame in the video. So if you're dealing with a lot of large photos, logos, graphics, what I recommend doing, especially if you're having playback issues or even export time issues, is to size them down before you export your video. So for example, if we go into Photoshop, you can see that I already scaled down the logo. And I have this file inside Premiere Pro called logo sized down. So this logo is already sized down and in the place that I want it. Let's say if we go back to the program window, what I can easily do is replace this logo by right-clicking and going to replace from bin. You can see that it sizes it down quite a bit, keeping in mind that it's replacing this clip and sizing it down to 32. But let's say if we reset this value to 100 and we just realign this here, you can see we have the same logo scaled to 100%, so Premiere Pro doesn't have to work as hard trying to scale down this logo for each frame in the video. This also works with photos as well. So if you work with slideshows specifically, I would recommend scaling down all your photos before you go and export your video, or even when you're editing the slideshow inside Premiere Pro. Another reason that Premiere Pro might be having long render times or playback issues is because of the effects and presets or transitions applied to the clips. For example, one effect that is most common to slow down rendering time is like the warp stabilizer effect. You know, without this on, Premiere Pro will render out video clips a lot faster. So it's just a matter of knowing what effects are slowing down your footage. If you're wondering, or if you're having trouble issues, let's say halfway through your footage, it tends to slow down. That might be a common issue or reason why. Another reason is maybe if you have an After Effects composition linked inside your Premiere Pro project at a certain point, it's trying to read from After Effects as well. Those are a few issues that it might slow it down. There's not really a good way to get around this. My only recommendation if you're having issues is to pre-render your clips out. So for example here, what you can do is render in and out. So let's say if we have this clip, you can see in the timeline here it's yellow and the surrounding clips are green. If we want to pre-render this clip out with the warp stabilizer effect added, we can go to sequence, render into out, and you'll notice it renders it out. And this might improve render times. Another reason why long export times might occur is because the video clips that you're editing inside Premiere Pro are highly compressed. This can be because maybe they were shot on a phone, or maybe they're shot on a drone. For example, here inside my Premiere Pro project, you can see I have these drone clips. And these drone clips were shot in H.264, and that's typically a highly compressed video codec. So if you're having issues based on the video codec, what you can do is convert them before you edit them. So for example here, you can open up Adobe Media Encoder, and from the Finder, what you can do is click and drag in your video clips. So let's say if we click and drag these MP4 files in, what you can do is convert them from H.264 to an easier codec for Premiere Pro to handle. Let's say if we select them all and we click on one of these, what we can do is click OK and change it to QuickTime Apple ProRes. You can do Apple ProRes 422HQ, or if you need it to be higher quality, you can do one of these down here as well. But for the most part, I like to use 422HQ. And this just makes it easier for Premiere Pro to handle because this codec is easier to scrub in your timeline. It's quicker for Premiere Pro to read essentially. Then you just maybe save it next to your footage. So for example, inside the same folder it came from, and you can click OK. That will change them for all of them here, and then you can click the play button at the top right, and this will render it out. Now once this is done, essentially just import all those exported clips inside your Premiere Pro timeline or project window here and edit those videos. They'll just be easier for you to edit. A few other small adjustments that you can make inside your Premiere Pro project is to increase the amount of allocated RAM to your project. So for example here, what you can do inside Premiere Pro is go up to Settings, Memory. And from this window, what you want to do is change this value here next to RAM reserved for other applications, change it to as low as possible. So in this case, I can't go under 12 gigabytes. I would just try to make this as low as possible. That way there's as much RAM as possible dedicated to Premiere Pro. This will help increase rendering speeds and playback issues that you might be having inside the software. Another thing that you can do just to clean up Premiere Pro in general is to clean the media cache. You can go to that tab and click delete. And this will just delete any unused media cache files that are clogging up Premiere Pro in the software. So you can click OK, and this will clean it up for you. You can also automatically have it deleted. So I have it set to once it hits 100 gigabytes worth of media cache files, it starts deleting it. Once you're done, you can click OK. But that does it for this video. If you have any questions or have any other issues, leave comments down below. And if I know maybe a solution, I will respond to your comments down in the comments section. But that does it for this video. We'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.